What should we as a society stop making people feel insecure about? Being quiet. You never say anything is such a weird way to both draw attention to someone and give them nothing to work with. Most folks don't understand the power of silence. I understand being quiet is not a meditation for everyone, but dang, not having endless mental chatter is wonderful. Not having endless verbal chatter directed at you without room to respond is good, too. Trade school gap years. College right after HS isn't for everyone. Even some of my smartest friends top of my class should have taken a gap because they burned themselves out getting 95-97% tags throughout HS. Exactly, I'm one of them. I never should have jumped into college. I went for something I was talked into, because it paid a lot, was miserable, changed majors, still wasn't happy, graduated with a degree 13 years ago that I never used. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I needed time to figure it out, and money isn't all that matters. Mental health struggles. There's absolutely nothing wrong with taking time to figure out what process works for you, despite why people around you might want to tell you. Had to scroll down a lot to find this, and I wish it was higher up. Mental illness is a real issue for a lot of people, and society in general has a hard time understanding them and are quick to judge, making the ones who struggle with it feel insecure about asking for help and getting treatment. Shame this stigma still exists in 2021. Having acne. It doesn't mean you're dirty or don't wash your face. It's simply a skin condition some people get and some people don't. The way someone laughs. This world is cold and unforgiving. Laughing makes it all a little less heavy. Who gives a frick what it sounds like? Baldness. It doesn't seem to be as common for it to happen naturally with women, but for men and women, it can be a really sore subject, especially if it starts happening at a fairly early age. You could be in control of every other aspect of your life, but if you start losing hair early, it can take the wind out of your sails. In honor of my deceased grandfather, God only made a few perfect heads, the rest are covered with hair. Bowel movements. As someone with IBS, it happens a lot. Yes, I was in the restroom for 20 minutes. There's nothing I can do about it. It's much harder on me than it is on you. When someone fucking knocks on the door and asks if I'm still in there. Yes, I bloody well am, and now it's going to take me another 20 minutes of trying to poop, you jerk. Excitement. Let people be excited about crap. Let them like things you don't. Let people express powerful positive emotions, and cry, and get deep into how to show anger respectfully. The worst feeling is being super excited about something and then getting put down for it. Makes me want to burst into tears when it happens, and it makes me want to do it when I see it happen to others too. That type of embarrassment is hard to handle and recover from. Not having relationships with some or all family members. Some people just suck, and someone has to have the misfortune of being related to them. Dark eye bags. Dark eye bag gang. Crooked teeth. They grew in that way, and my parents, divorced, both had insurance on me, but argued over whose responsibility it should be. Well, now it's mine, but I can't afford it. Everything that doesn't harm others but makes the person happy. Be silly. Enjoy yourself. Make snow angles in the rain. I don't care. I love geometry too. I thought I was the only one who made snow angles. I'm a cleaner in this. I've literally had people say to me after I tell them, "So you studying or what are you looking to do?" I'd never cleaned toilets, and the worst one was, "So, just haven't found your dream job yet?" Like, no, Greg. I'm OCD and have ADD. This is my dream job. I'm on my feet all day. I get to make things perfect, and the satisfaction is incredible for my mental health. I'm able to support myself and my son, and I also get to help the elderly and disabled. Who wouldn't want to have that chance on a daily basis? Also, clean your freaking toilet, Greg. It's grotty as heck. I like you. Liking pretty things. Too many people have this idea that pretty things are childish and you need to be moody and ironically dark. Fool, look at that beautiful flower and stop pretending to be miserable before you actually convince yourself that you are. ETA. Wow. Thank you guys so much for the awards and karma. You're all pretty things. Teeth. They aren't meant to be fully white and perfectly aligned. Having some skewness and discoloration is okay as long as it's not affecting you. A lot of actors, celebrities go through this expensive teeth procedure where they basically shave down their natural teeth then cover all them with this fake stuff so they forever look white and pretty. Not associating with a toxic family or family member. The blood is thicker than water thing is BS. Some families are abusive, manipulative, neglectful, etc. If you choose not to have them in your life, that's perfectly okay. Being poor, it's not a choice. I am doing the best I can, and just because I receive food stamps or any other type of assistance doesn't make me oppose. I see a lot of hate for poor people, like we are supposed to fit this stereotype with dirt on our face and stained up clothes. It isn't so far-fetched to think my designer clothes come from a thrift store. My nails are press-on from the dollar store and my iPhone is so old it still has a headphone jack. Being a virgin, penis breast size. Whether we're wearing makeup or not, being allowed to wear makeup, having the next shiny gadget that will get replaced soon, having and expressing your emotions without being called a bee or a pansy. Where you should be success-wise at a certain age. I'm 23, graduated college, but couldn't get a job in my field right after graduating. I'm living with my parents to save money on rent, working at a restaurant, and growing my skills that I learned from college while working on myself. I'm severely insecure and realized recently that for the past 10 years, I have been constantly striving for a level of perfection that is absolutely impossible and calling myself a failure for it. I woke up to the realization that I was getting serious anxiety and was limiting everything I did. It's just that I'm not exactly ready for the world of adults. I'm terrified and unsure, and it doesn't help hearing people despair over how they ruined their lives when they aren't that old. The pressure to get somewhere in 2 years demotivates me sometimes. It's something I'm fixing, but I don't like hearing people force time limits on others and reprimand them if they never fulfill it or haven't. I saw a post here about a few days ago asking 25-year-olds how they screwed up in their lives, or something along those lines, as if 25 is the deadline for achievements. It's good to have deadlines, but everybody grows at their own pace and has roadblocks in their lives that slow them down. Heck, the human brain apparently doesn't stop developing at 25 and grows even after 60 years old. Some people genuinely do try but get so discouraged that they give up and then get ridiculed for not doing anything. I only learned recently that my 30-year-old cousin just got over a terrible drug addiction that cost his job and almost his livelihood for years. But he got out, finished college, and is a changed man, getting better jobs and doing better. There's always time. Being an emotional male. Of course there's times where you just can't be, but generally I think that it should be okay without being called a P. Menstruation, honestly not that scary, and can we normalize men buying menstrual products for their partners? We all know it's not for you, and to be honest you will probably earn brownie points for doing it. Crying. It doesn't make you weak, dramatic, or over emotional. It's your body's natural response to an overload of emotions, and it's one of the healthiest ways to express them, not to mention quite cathartic. This is more for the United States I think from what I've read, but taking your vacation days, taking off work. Corporate America makes people feel like they shouldn't be taking vacation days or can't take off. I know personally at my job, people take vacation days and still email work all day long. We get vacation days for a reason and don't owe our companies anything, so they shouldn't make us feel insecure about taking them when we want and need to. Everything. Mind your own business and don't be a dong. Vaginal discharge. And we, people with vaginas so they know they're normal, and those with penises so they don't judge us for it, should be taught about it from a young age. For a long time I didn't know it was normal until about a year ago, but everyone who has a vagina has this. Not wanting to have a lover. I personally don't care for a love life. I believe the term for this is aromantic, but I haven't told anyone because I feel like the response I'll get will be along the lines of "you haven't found the right one" or "aromantic asexual people don't exist." Stretch marks. It absolutely baffles me when people talk about stretch marks negatively. They're like birthmarks in my mind. I've had stretch marks since I was 12 or so, just from growing. When I was a teenager, someone once asked me while I was in a bathing suit if I had ever had a baby, because I had stretch marks. I had not. I have no idea why she thought that was an appropriate thing to ask a teenager, but okay. Height. Just because you're not 6 feet tall doesn't mean you're unattractive. Also, being a depressed male. If you tell a depressed male to man up, I would not like to meet you. Thank you from a depressed male. Whether or not you're going to get married, whether or not you're going to have kids, whether or not you're going to have more kids. Small boobs. I hate mine and am so embarrassed about having small boobs and looking unfeminine that I always wear push-up bras and never anything low cut. Living at home with parents as adults. Wages are so dang low. Student loan debt so dang high. Rent prices high. I mean, WTF am I supposed to do? Plus the amount of money I spend on healthcare a month leaves me cashless. I can't cough up $1,800 a month for my own studio here in SoCal, even though I work full time for a job that requires a BA degree. Sometimes living at home with parents is the most financially responsible thing someone can do. And don't forget, later when parents are elderly, if everyone gets along, there's a good chance parents need their adult kids just as much later on as their children needed them over the years. Not getting up early. There's this idea that if you get up early then that's amazing and you have your life put together, but that's just not it. Some people are morning people, some people aren't. Rather than being made to feel guilty for getting up at 12 PM, those who are students or work on weekends or whatever, just accept that some of us work better at night. As an autistic person who doesn't do this but knows people who do. Physical stimming. You wanna rock back and forth in a grocery store? Be my guest. You wanna flap your hands? Be my guest. Just don't kill yourself and don't harm others. Their interests. Let people enjoy themselves. Let girls drink pumpkin spice. Let teens get into supernatural. I'm so tired of watching people make fun of others, especially kids, for their interests. Like, if you don't like it, whatever, but let others enjoy their interests and hobbies in peace. Making people feel bad about their skills or interests because we've pointlessly gendered them. If the level 85 ninja wizard on my team is a girl and the one bringing me fresh baked cookies is a guy, the proper response is heck yeah, I have a level 85 ninja wizard on my team and fresh baked cookies and nothing more. Being behind in life. Everybody has their own journey. Maybe some have kids at 20, some at 30, some are high up the career ladder at 25, some start a new career at 40. There's nothing wrong with any of these. We should stop making so many jokes about how ugly vaginas are, meat curtains, making fun of women who keep all their pubes, etc. That crap is hilarious until it ruins oral sex for you because you're too completely embarrassed by your own body parts to let someone put their mouth there. I've had long labia since way before puberty. Finding out my genitals of all things are considered ugly made me even more afraid to ever lose my virginity. Bring different. Appearance. Popularity. Trends. Not being good enough. Size. Sexuality. Gender. Race. Religion. Mental illness. Quote unquote weakness. Opinions. The list goes on. Opinions are a very controversial take on Reddit, lol. Being unemployed. Taking longer figure out what you want to do in life. Not going to college. Long labia does not mean you are AW. I don't have long labia and I was a right slag, lol. This idea that your dong somehow deforms the labia on the outside makes zero sense to begin with, and so many girls think their vagina isn't attractive enough because sad incels have spread this balls for so long now. I didn't know it was a bad thing until my guy friend told me his girlfriend had meat curtains and then went on to describe what that meant and how gross it was to him. Seems silly to say that kind of thing to a girl whose vagina you've never seen and could very well also have meat curtains. I've been insecure about it ever since. Our bodies in general. We shouldn't have to feel ashamed of what we look like because we don't fit what society thinks is acceptable. I had to scroll too dang much for this one. Women having children. We'll have them if when we want to or are able to. It's none of anyone else's business when a woman is or isn't going to have a kid. So many people have fertility issues, money problems, or just simply don't want children ever, and they shouldn't have to explain that to anybody. Aging. Assuming you an average amount of time, you'll spend the majority of your life not in your 20s. Therapy. We all have our crap. Not going to college. There are so many trades that offer a good living. Not having kids. It's abundantly clear that not everyone feels up to the task of having kids. Don't question it. Going to school for the sake of learning instead of for a specific career and/or degree. I have a friend who is really interested in psychology but feels intimidated to start school again at the age of 35. I told her that going to school for a subject she is genuinely interested in and curious about is the best reason to do so, but we have been conditioned to think otherwise. At least in my country, Brazil, I think that being a cop, especially because here gangs are very violent and even send heads to their families. Men not being manly enough. I just hate it when children are being told to man up. Poor boys get their self-esteem broken at such a young age and men grow up to be buttholes. Yeah, this is important. Life is so much better when you don't limit yourself because of manly man stereotype. Guys should be able to express emotions, especially positive ones. Eat, drink and wear whatever they like. One message for edgy teens lurking here. Being grim angry man isn't really that attractive for relationship, so don't waste time with this phase. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.